Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. I should really get counseling. What crazy individual would come out in the rain to see auction stuff, pre-auction? Just me, right? Anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna run up and down the row so you guys could have a preview so that you have some kind of idea of the kind of stuff that's here. So here's the first row. What do we think, Charlie?
Oh man, I got money burning a hole in my pocket.
You know, I love coming here and I love seeing this stuff, but unfortunately most of it is junk. Or after you fill the tools up, all those buckets with water and all, it kind of becomes junk. We got a tombstone?
Tombstone welder.
Oh, there you go. I love my Lincoln tombstones. You hear that? Just wait until tomorrow when all this mud gets churned up. I mean, there's a few interesting things that the water won't hurt. A lot of times these toolboxes go real cheap. Oh, I have a million of them. Tires typically go cheap. A lot of this antique engine stuff actually has a tendency to go for real money. The tractors go for real money too. I'll probably hit an example of a couple of them. Now, my plan is to come back tomorrow and actually pick a few selected items to talk about. I personally really like discussing some of the hillbilly inventions or redneck builds. A lot of those could be crazy interesting. I have one of these. If I had to guess, that engine's probably dead like my engine's dead. Yeah, anything you buy here, you want to just make the assumption that it's parts, and it'll keep you from being disappointed. God, this looks so much. This might have been. God, it looks so much like it. Everything about it. I'm talking this Cub Cadet Zero Turn. It might have been at the Rhinebeck car show, and the guy bought it for $450 and brought it here. Row 2. How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3 or 4 or 5 10. On the other side.
Yeah. There's probably about 15 rows all told. Oh, we got a deer there, no mower deck.
Like a little gas pump.
Charlie used to restore gas pumps.
Boy, I did a mess of those too. That's a nice one. You're too rich for my blood.
Oh, I'm sure.
I go a couple hundred.
Oh, an ideal sideways. You go a couple hundred and resell it, Charlie. Look at that, even comes with Stewart's coffee. Stewart's coffee, big up here. Oh yeah. If it rains overnight, this is gonna be a nosh pit in the morning. Hear my footsteps? You know, unfortunately, as we're all taking this walk together, I'm just finally maybe coming up on something. I'm really not finding anything too much to my likings. That's a little 50cc. I have a load of parts for that at home. A little 50cc Suzuki. Even the Craftsman tractors. I saw stuff that didn't run. They were getting $300, $400, $500 for it. And the $300 stuff was pretty basic. The beginning of row 3. Got a McDonald's sign, a whole load of cartons. Yeah, this guy typically comes up from Long Island. He's got a warehouse down there. And he like fills up this whole row with stuff. And if you need like casters, you could buy the bunch of them. And sometimes if there's somebody floating around who just needs a set, you could get some halfway decent money out of the casters before you take it home. I bought a few years ago, some of you guys might remember. Oh yeah, I mean, we're talking underwater here. I bought, guy bought a whole box of exhaust system, reasonable, and he just needed a few pieces out of the box. And I bought the rest of it from him, and I think I gave him 2/3 of what he paid for it. So he made out, I made out, because it turns out the exhaust parts he wanted were specific to something that I didn't own, and they were in such a way. Yeah, I mean, I'm underwater here. They weren't something I could really cut up. Whenever I get these trays reasonable, I grab them. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff this guy has. A lot of times if the trays are used and dirty and nasty, they really go cheap. Yeah, there's some more. And then what I do is I just leave them out in the weather. Let Mother Nature scrub them down. For you sign lovers. Sorry, you got to read them upside down. Graffiti, pedestrian crossing. Oh, workbench. Charlie's after workbenches. He's going to put up a big garage. Those heavy ones. Very useful if you're doing engine work. Well, useful for anything. Okay. Finishing up row 3, and we'll leave our bald-headed friends behind and do row 4. So row 4 starts on the water. That's row 5 with the all-terrain vehicles. Get some plastic bins, always interesting. Hey Charlie, you think it's wet out here?
Oh, look at all those four-wheelers over there.
Yeah.
Ooh, doggies, you want the trailer?
Yeah, but there's Suzuki 125s. I'm already overstocked with those things. And if anybody's ridden a 125cc Suzuki four-wheeler, it's got no suspension, it's heavy as heck, and it's under power. Oh yeah.
Ain't the move. Oh, I like those shelves. Nah, ain't the move.
Oh, you got your benches here, Charlie.
I want some AfroTurf.
Yeah, but it's cut in 1 foot squares. What's that good for? Unless you're going to glue it down.
Man, that's the workbench of your dreams, bud.
How's this for sorting parts?
Huh?
Look at these for sorting parts.
Yeah.
You can put buckets in them and push washers through one hole and...
Costco. What did you just say here? Steal me. Holy shit. You think the guy would take a spray can and paint over the Costco part of it, wouldn't you?
More casters. Those look like trays. I don't know why he bothered covering them. Well, doesn't look like... Oh, seats. You know, I always need seats. I've been buying seats for golf carts and everything else forever. I should install some of them. Oh, more trays. Love the trays. We got our Canadian honkers. Pressure washers. I'm always buying them. If I get a deal, I buy them, Charlie. I never ask.
Where's a nice little stainless trays over there too. Did you see those?
Yeah. I like the Canadian honkers there. And yeah, I have a lot of this stuff in my possession already. Pressure washers, typically dead. Row 5.
It's the Rambo.
Yeah, sometimes you do good with tools in a box, but I don't think it's so good for that drill to swim.
I don't think so.
You know, wet generator's not a good idea.
It's good and wet where you plug it in.
Yeah, there's another box of drowning stuff.
$5 box.
Yeah.
And bunch of tires for the go-kart.
Yep. I love the $5 box. Big fan of the $5 box.
You buy 20 boxes at $5, you're bound to make money.
Yeah, if you get 20 boxes of $5 stuff, you spend 100. Hopefully out of the 5 boxes, you pull something out and you like it. There's a guy in Amish clothing who typically buys all the $5 boxes of chemicals. As you look at the stuff in there, a can or two are well worth the $5. But as you work your way the next bid and the next bid, $10, it's really not worth it. So normally if he's bidding, I just let him get it for the $5. I don't challenge him, because once again, then you're at $10, and what you get, is it really worth $10? Another $5 box over there, hopefully. Yeah, for some of you guys who like old equipment, some of this could be interesting. Diesel generator. Tomorrow I'll go through the trouble. Oh, it's got 900 hours on it. For a generator, that cheap generator, that's a lot of hours. For a good generator, not so. For a cheap one, that could be a lot of hours, depending on how they load it and how they took care of it. Oh, got us a 5-wheeler deer here. I don't see a tag on it that says that it runs. 0 turn signs. What is this? 125 or 185? No carburetor. Bad sign. It does have the recoil. 185. Yep. What's that? I don't have a gator yet. So a 125, 185. And a Nerf dog. And what's this thing here? You're looking Polaris on me. And it's Z-Force. CF Moto. Huh, my buddy sells those. So this is the end of 5. Alright, starting row 6. Looks like we got a car in here.
You having fun yet? I'm having a fucking ball myself.
You getting wet yet, Charlie?
Not yet.
Ooh, couple of Heath kits.
Wow.
For a while, those things were going for money. Lately I've been seeing them a lot more reasonable.
Those are homemade?
No, Heath Kit. Remember the company
Those are Heath kits?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Remember the company that people typically got their first TV set because they said that they were yeah, people would say they were taking an electronics class, and the electronics class was to build a Heath Kit TV set. They've got a bunch of Cubs. Looks like they cleaned them up pretty well. Motors look pretty clean. These are probably going for real money. Oh, even a 1018. I got one of those. 1018 where the hood fits. Some plumbing stuff. Wagon wheels. There was a while they were really popular. Everybody wanted a wagon wheel in front of their house. Oh, quart of snowmobiles somebody drug out of the buckwheat. One of these days mine are going to have to get dragged from the buckwheat. Pretty beat to death trailer. I don't know if you guys see the way that's lifted up. Tools. Underwater. Nailed. Underwater. Everybody into a boat. Oh, we got a Suzuki, an Edgar. Yeah, I'm not taking the time that's really necessary to look at these in a lot of detail to see if they're runnable or have the potential to run. Sorry about that. It's raining. Oh, there are a few all-terrain vehicles. Our friends in row 7. Title in the office for an intruder. Jet Drive, Polaris. Another Polaris. This one looks like it caught fire at some point. Did the old meltdown. Another Polaris. A lot of the Dodge Hemi. A lot of the all-terrain vehicles up here are used for real. People live on farms, people go hunting, people ride trails. So if it's a local machine, it probably went out and was used. If it's used and taken care of, good. But if it's used, beat up on, brought here, sold for too much money, not so good if you're the person who paid the too much money. Mercury, Deere. What do we got here? Rusty Ford. Boy, there's a surprise. Runs and drives. Yeah, when I first moved to this area of New York 40 years ago, 45 years ago, anything that ran and drove, you could kind of, register and find somebody to put an inspection sticker on it for you. Nowadays, you got to actually pass inspection. They hook up to the car's computer in New York here and make sure you got no major malfunctions. You can have pending fault codes, but you can't have any real fault codes. Yeah, motorcycles. I still have the desire to put a motorcycle engine on a Warrior frame. I got a couple Warrior frames now. That Ninja engine was supposed to be the engine that did that. Time. All right, finishing row 7. Row 8. We're about half done, guys. Interesting sleeper. Got a few tractors. Wind's beginning to pick up. Luckily with this place, they load you. So if you buy something, obviously you do your best to keep your vehicle on firm ground. I'm not thinking wet in a microscope is good for it. Yeah, you try to keep your vehicle on somewhat firm ground. And they pick up whatever you buy and load it up for you. Oh, mini bike with a Predator on it. There's an old timer there, minus the gas tank. There you go, somebody's hunting cottage. Box truck. Yeah, we got a lot of beat to death tractors here. I don't hear Charlie sounding off, so I don't think he's finding anything. Drifting away, huh? It was interesting when I made the video of that Harley powered quad. Generally speaking, a lot of people thought it was interesting, and some people not so much. To me, a 2011 Prairie 360 that just needs a carb adjustment. Everything else is good. Row 9. Well, back to the, got a load of antlers there. Back to the Harley powered, that's not good. The Harley powered quad. Most of you guys thought it was pretty cool. Few people thought it was a lot less than cool. Oh, Honda. I love me nice Hondas. Runs registration in office. And it's a 4x4. Looks like a 300 4x4. And I have that one in green. This stuff will be uncovered tomorrow. Toro. All these are like basically the same. Yeah, they're all more or less alike. I always look at these things, I think mobile garage. Well water. Lots of well water. Yeah, I think my plan for tomorrow, I'm planning on coming. I think my plan for tomorrow is to get here super early, like to follow the guy who opens the gate in and try to put my truck in an easy downhill place where I could kind of roll my way out. Drove in, but no stickers. It says runs good, needs radiator. Well, hopefully they didn't come from too far with a leaky radiator. Gotta see what this goes for. I got one of those that need a new home. Suburban still has tags on it. Drive that right home. And the old, is this a Yerf dog? Joe Rocks. Fox. She's a fox. 169 cc, 6.5 horsepower. Flat tires. Yeah, if you join the association, and a friend of mine has, they actually let you camp here. You could bring your camper in and stay for a few days. I don't know. What do you think? Christmas ornaments in the box? This is the next row. I don't know if they're calling it 8. It's kind of an add-on row. We'll see at the end. I have that Ryobi generator. I think the best deal on a generator is when you find one that says runs, doesn't produce power. And assuming that's true, you at least get a motor out of the deal. Though the motor has a tapered shaft, and you have to get a little creative to do something with it. Yeah, for all this stuff, I mean, when you get battery-powered tools and you drown them, you water them, I just can't picture it's good for them. So that was row 10. I think I missed row 9. So this is row 11, kind of considered the back rows. I think they were kind of added on to later. They used to just do all the stuff in the front. Now those of you who aren't familiar with the way this place works is they have typically now 4 auctioneers traveling around in open like stands, like open tree stands on trailers. So they tow them up and down these rows, and the guy, if you see the numbers on this equipment, like they'll read that number 1883 and say Troy built whatever, and give whatever information they have on it. And then you could start your bidding. That stuff over there typically has yet a separate auctioneer. So let's make it 5. Anyway, and people start bidding. Normally the very, very first row, row 1 and 2, those are the rows where people in the club, very active in the club, put a lot of their stuff. We have a metal shed. Building, actually. Anyway, those people put that stuff in. And that's normally the stuff that goes for the most money. Row 12 starts with a bunch of lumber. Anyway, and also some of those folks have a tendency to bid their stuff up, i.e. they own the stuff, and you might be at like $50 and they go 55. And if you real quick go 60, they're gonna say 65, right? If you go nice and slow on saying 60, typically they realize they might get stuck with their item if they say, if they bid again, so you want to go slow. Yeah, that's good for the engine. Let the water go right into it. And you feel bad for the guy who owns that engine, because what's it worth, right? Well, you know, they cost $200 from Harbor Freight. Well, they cost about $1.25 on sale. And now that it inhaled a load of water, what could it be worth? If you got to tear the whole thing apart, and by the way, as soon as you get it home, you should tear the whole thing apart if you plan on using it for any more than parts, and get it dried out and cleaned up. So, we're about finishing up in aisle 12. I think it was good that they blocked this off, though. If people were driving up and down these, they would have made a bigger mess than it already is. Wow, copper at the end of 12. Clean copper. That's worth something. Row 13. I don't know if you guys remember last year There was a quad here, 200cc Honda. It actually looked pretty good, but it's been sitting. Tires went square, but it went for a lot of money. I think it went for like pushing 800 bucks. And I just looked at it and I thought to myself, you know, running, maybe it's worth 12. So you have $400 worth of headroom. If you get away with the carburetor and you put used tires on it, you're going to be okay. But if you put new tires on it to get the maximum amount of money out of it, and you put a new carburetor on it at $1,200, you're not going to make anything. You got to do better than that. So, another blaster, or not a blaster, Yamaha, what is this, Warrior? Two-wheel drive, chain, 350cc, YTM 350. Shouldn't even consider it. I got like 3, 4, 5 of these. Charlie, you need this Warrior.
There's enough stuff here to make you go, huh?
There's enough stuff here to short your brain out.
I'm telling you.
Boy, it just keeps going, eh? Zero turn, truck shelves. Yeah, this is a long row. Box of stuff, filters. Yeah, it's good to get water into your oil filter before you install it. Very important to do that. Adds the variable of H2O. What is this, a little 100? Automatic, I don't know, 125, 150. Maybe even a 200cc. Yeah, this, with the tractors pulling those wagons through here, this is just gonna be a mess. I bet you they wish they invested a little item 4. Well, I'm glad the place is full. They got this place is as full of as a tick after a full feeding. 46 Husqvarna. You know what I'm not seeing and I kind of miss? A lot of times they'd have these redneck inventions. You know, somebody takes an old tractor and, you know, adds a donkey and a mule to it, zaps it with lightning, and they have a redneck creation. Just to give you an idea how much rain we got, that boat, it's almost full to the point of running out the back there. Anyway, I'm not seeing that kind of stuff. And that stuff is just beyond cool. You know, sometimes you could get some ideas for a build from some of the junk you got floating around at your own house. And there we are. And we finish row 13 with some shrubbery. Row 14. I'm looking at the camera, making sure I don't run out of battery. Though I brought a spare camera. Yeah, some antique stuff, water pump, cooler, all the lights. Oil tank. At least they got that undercover. Yeah, I don't know what those quads are going to go for. It seems that around me, the prices are down a bit. Civic. Runs and drives. Fender door bumper included. It's got 250K on it. Guess it came with spare parts. These rolling racks are handy for sorting. If they go reasonable, I'd love to get one for both. Actually, that would be worth some decent coin to me. If you got to build that rack, by the time you choked up metal and welding rods, I bet you'd have well over a couple $100 in it. Time, you're probably looking at a hard day's work too, a full day of labor. So, Charlie,
almost coffee time.
Almost. By the way, they have the local fire department runs the concession stand here, and they do a great job. I mean, hamburgers, hot dogs, brownies. Gotta love a brownie. Coffee, soda, obviously. They don't serve alcohol, but it's just you know, it's kind of like a fireman's get together, you know, when the whole fireman crew get together for a barbecue. It's kind of got that feel to it, very homey. A little more fun on a dry day than a rainy day like today. And tomorrow morning it's supposed to be rainy, then it's supposed to clear up. And it really depends when it clears up to how the day is. If it stops raining and we get an hour or two of dry, mini bike people, there are quite a few here. Yeah, if we get some dry time, things won't be bad. Anybody need rusty exhaust systems? They look like they were new, but now they're new and rusty. So, just finished 14. Row 15, I guess I was right. I think there's 3-4 rows left. So that brings us to row 18 when we're done. Equinox. It looks like it drove here too. A little mouse bite there. One owner. No lights on, as in no check engine light. 126K, runs good. You gotta climb underneath and see if that rust hole is bigger than that one little rust hole. Got some loose engines. You know, for the old time engines, for a collector or something, they're pretty cool. But now with the modern gasoline and all, I really hate to be a fan of the Predator. But, you know, you buy one on sale, $125 for a 6.5. Drives good, 175. Another Chevy. Bicycles and all. I mean, just for a reliable starting using engine that's easy to replace, easy to get parts for, easy to put a throttle on for a mini bike. That's wonderful example of an engine. Husqvarna, no deck, flat tire. 2 flat tires. Oh, there's the deck off to the side. 3 flat tires. Yeah. So anyway, I'm a little bit of a fan of the Predator. Love the old Briggs, but for a solid replacement, I'm going to use it engine. I like the Predator. What's that? The 160? Suzuki Quad Runner 160. And what's this guy? Honda. It's an electric start. Hand clutch. Hand clutch, that's probably a 300. And another Honda. What is this, an old Foreman 450 or so? Wow. A lot of transfer case there. Runs. Doesn't say if it shifts or moves, but it does run. So I was on 15. Yeah, I did that. Working my way through.
Absolutely.
A lot of cubs. These people are tired of fixing them. Bunch of bits. I don't know, did I already cover this? Sorry about that if I did. So, and this finishes row 16. You know, when it comes to these bigger engines, you never know what you got. Right? It could be a steal of a deal, or it could be junk, or you could find out that you can't get the exhaust like for that guy. Given that they kept the exhaust, it makes me wonder. I'm talking specifically on this. Made in USA, probably a Briggs. Anyway, it makes you wonder if they didn't swap it out because it was dead. Anyway, next row. When I was a kid, they had the yellow crate and orange crate and all, and then the Huffy version. If I had to guess, that's the Huffy version, not the Swin version. I got trees raining on me here. I could see the comments, and one of them will probably be, what was that, the refuge guy. I think I've met him. He's down from Westchester area, I think. Anyway, and his comment will be something along the lines of, wow, I've never seen so much junk in one place. He's never been to my house. So, Yamaha Timberwolf. I think I got one of those. Bumper car cart that you're not supposed to do bumper cars with. So we got to finish up this row, and then there's a couple of shorties. We got us some more lumber. Looks like, yeah, that whole pile is one by. So if you need a pile of 6s, 2x6s, and some of them look pretty long, 18 footers maybe. Looks like they were stored somewhere. They look old, but they look like they were protected. Oh, plastic pallets. Sorted junk, including bell wire. Somebody clipped the telephone company back in the day.
Down the home stretch, baby.
Yeah, last few rows. So Charlie, we're almost done. You see anything you're in love with?
Yeah, that gas pump. That's right in the beginning.
Yeah, but you know what right in the beginning means.
It could mean anything.
But it probably doesn't mean cheap. Kubota generator.
You'll get it for what I'm going to bid. Or you're going to bid.
Yeah, I'm bidding for you. What's the number you're thinking?
250, 300, something like that.
It might go for that. I mean, it's raining. Maybe if the crowd doesn't show up tomorrow. You know, even if the whole crowd shows up that normally does to this place and nobody buys anything, normally there's a good sized crowd. Just the looky-loos, just the onlookers. There's normally quite a few people. Got another sled and a miniature swimming pool or stock tank or whatever you want to call it. Some more power tools that get better by washing them. You know, there's a whole load of battery-powered tools that went swimming. You know, I don't know about you, but to me, they would be even if I needed them, right? Let's say I was putting together a set of Ryobi or DeWalt or Makita, I'd be afraid to buy them. And a nice straight 6 there. Even the plug-in tools. I mean, if you get them home and you blow them clean real quick, I guess they could be okay. These 2 rolling racks in one, that's interesting. Typically, stuff like that is used for dishes. You stack up 4 stacks of dishes, right? 1 in each corner, and they could take the weight. Normally the wheels could really take the weight. Anyway, so this concludes it. Yeah, typically that thing here, that's what they load up with the auctioneer and pull up and down the rows. They have some antique equipment you can look at also. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember, feet down, heads up, and pray for the rain to stop. Bye now.
Bye.